Hey everyone, we're playing a match with Naya Hexproof. We won the die roll and we're gonna go first. Unfortunately, this hand is terrible, so I'm gonna mulligan. And this is not great, but it's fine. I think that this deck is pretty good right now because its only really bad matchup is control, and people aren't really playing that too much anymore. Alright, so we're gonna keep. We'll lead with Temple Garden because we'll take less damage in the long run with it. We only have to take 2 one time as opposed to 1 damage every time you use it. Looks like our opponent is playing Black Devotion. Alright, so we're going to just... First we'll see what we're gonna draw. This card isn't great, but I'd rather have it than a land, so we'll keep it. This is not really the best start from us, but hopefully we draw into some good enchantments. I don't think this matchup is too terrible for us, though. Well, that's an interesting card. I didn't expect to see that. Alright, so we're gonna bash and he's probably gonna block. And we'll just Lesney charm our guy. And we will play a Gladecover Scout. Doesn't feel good being in top deck mode on turn 3. With only a 2-2 and a 1-1 in play. But it looks like our opponent is playing some kind of like really slow control-ish deck, so hopefully these guys can get there. And he's still blocked. He doesn't care about Selesnya Charm this time. Our opponent probably has Cure in his deck, so luckily our deck doesn't really care about it. I really don't know what his deck even does. A Jace would be really bad here. That's also pretty bad. This is one of the worst cards we could have top decked here. We really needed some kind of enchantment. Madcap skills would be really good here because it makes our Scout with the armor into a 3-3, which gets by his Nightveil Spectre, and the 1-1 or the 2-1, we'll probably put it on the 2-1, becomes really hard to block. Alright, free 2 damage, I like that. I think it's pretty obvious that we have nothing in our hand because this deck just plays all of its stuff immediately. I'm not even sure if I care about this. Change of the rocks would have been pretty nice. Oh well. Boros Charm. This card is okay, but it doesn't really do anything right now. It's probably just gonna either finish off our opponent or like give something double strike once we get another enchantment. But for now we can't attack, so we're just gonna pass the turn here. Our opponent's down to one card, which is pretty nice. That's kind of annoying, but it doesn't really do very much as long as we just get another enchantment on one of our guys. So he attacked, which means he probably top decked something. Ooh, that's really bad. Probably one of the best cards he could get. This card is fine. It makes our guy into a 5/5. We still need like something that gives trample or evasion or something. We're not going to attack Ashiok because we don't really care about it very much. Like we just need to kill him. This Ashiok isn't going to impact the board very much. We'll play our land because our opponent knows about it. Another Witch Stalker. Well, at least he can't get it this turn. I'm going to take this. It allows us to swing back with all of our creatures. He already used Ashiok, so he can't put a guy into play. And we just need one top deck to be ahead in this race. I'm glad he flipped the Selesnya Charm off of this. He can't cast it, although it probably would have been pretty good for us. Alright, now our opponent has lots of chump blockers. He can actually cast the Selesnya Charm because of this. I forgot about that. That's not so good. That means we cannot attack with these guys. I imagine he's going to chump block with a Caryatid here. And he does. We'll play our land so we take less damage off of mana confluence. That might be relevant. I'm really surprised our opponent is plussing Ashiok and not putting creatures into play. It's very weird, actually. Alright, this doesn't do anything. For him. Because he can't target any of our creatures. And doesn't have a mountain, so yeah. Pretty good. Can't do anything about that. Alright, this was actually pretty good, because we can remove the Nightveil Spectre and our guy becomes a 3/3 so we can attack him. It's still not looking so good for us, but any Unflinching Courage or Madcap skills will get us back in the game. Encroaching Waste is pretty good against Chain to the Rocks here. Still don't really understand what our opponent is doing with Ashiok. If he had 2 Witchstalkers in play, this game would be very favorable for him. I think we're gonna double block this. He can get back his Nightveil Spectre at any time, and these guys don't really do very much right now. We could make our guys indestructible, I don't think that's worth it. I think it's better to deal him 4. Yep. Figure that. Actually, I thought Encroaching Waste would have been better, and he could have Bramble Crush our Ethereal Armor, so that's not the best play by my opponent. Alright, we drew the card we were looking for. So he has to block or else he's just dead. So if we give this double strike, our opponent takes 7. So I guess we're not going to do that. Oh, that's actually very good. But we can make our permanents indestructible. Alright, that's pretty sweet. That's like not relevant very often, because usually you're making your creatures indestructible, but in this case it's very relevant. So we get to kill this guy, gain a bunch of life, and our opponent takes 2. Again, we're in a position where any enchantment we draw is really good. This is a lot of arrows right here. Still don't really understand why our opponent is milling us with Ashiok. It's real weird. His ultimate doesn't do anything. Alright, our opponent finally figured out that it's better to get a creature in play. It only took him about 7 turns. Alright, now we can't attack unless we draw something. Oh wait, we actually can because of first strike. So yeah, we're definitely attacking here. He paid 2? That seems very bad for us. He has no cards in hand. Why would he pay 2 there? He can't activate this encroaching waste. Weird. I mean, there's no flashback in this format. Oh, alright. Our opponent thought he could activate his encroaching waste, so he just messed up. I still don't think it's right to attack Ashiok ever. Right now. Like, he's gonna get a bunch of guys in play, but, like, with this first strike thing, we're just like, he has to chump block every turn, and he's taking trample damage every turn, too. Glad we're not drawing this. Okay, I don't think he should have conceded there. He's definitely not dead. But, I'll take it. So, our opponent is a weird bug control. So, these are fine because they get past the O3s and they also block Nightveil Specters. Mizium Mortars seem okay against Nightveil Spectre. This card is usually good against a deck playing Planeswalkers. We can just end of turn cast it or enchant a guy or something. Now what don't we want here? We didn't really see much from him besides a bunch of mana things, abrupt decays, and Nightveil Specters. Honestly, I want all of these cards. This is very sad. I guess Selesnya Charms are the weakest cards here. We have 3 Chain to the Rock, so I don't think we need both Mizium Mortars, so we'll cut 1. And I'll cut the Boon Satyr. Alright, we need to mulligan this hand. I don't think we can keep a hand without a creature even though it has a temple in it. And we don't want 2 Chain to the Rocks. So yeah, we'll mulligan this. This is fine. We'll take a lot of damage, but Witchstalker's real good. We have an enchantment and we have a way to kill his first creature. And our opponent mulliganed too, so that's pretty sweet. Not that I want my opponent to mulligan, but at least we're on even ground. Elvish Mystic is a weird choice in his deck because he can't cast a Nightveil Spectre with it. I'm not going to cast Mizzy Mortars here, I'd rather cast it on his Nightveil Spectre at some point. Plus this elf doesn't really do anything. I guess it attacks for 1. Alright, so here we can either Mizzy Mortars or we can cast a Witch Stalker. I think I feel better if I Mizzy Mortars and cast the Witch Stalker next turn. Alright, yeah, we'll do that. It allows us to not take as much damage from lands too. So here our opponent could have a counter spell of some kind, or he could just be mana screwed. He has no black. So I'm gonna go with he has no black, and I'll just play this Witch Stalker. Alright, that resolved, so again, it's just a better use of mana to just cast this now. And he doesn't have black, so I feel good about it. Alright, he has black now. Alright, this was actually really good because I'm worried about, like, some kind of Devour Flesh or something. So I'm gonna play this Witch Stalker and then Ethereal Armor on this guy and bash for 7. So if he has Devour Flesh or something, we're safe from it, and next turn... Oh, he has something. No, he just wants a chump block. And next turn we can make this gigantic and flying and probably win. So if he has... Oh, he decided to take it, he didn't chump block. Okay. So if he has Ashiok or something, he has to tap this now, which, like, removes a chump blocker. So that's pretty good. Okay, that's very good, too. So he's going to take the gift, but he needs to chump block pretty much every turn. Still don't really know what our opponent's playing, like Brain Maggot seems weird. Elves in a deck that has Nightveil Spectre seems a little weird. Yep, chump block, take 3. So now this guy's just lethal. And we'll play another dude for extra protection from Devour Flesh. We'll keep a card in hand in case our opponent wants to Thoughtseize us. Oh, and it looks like we won that game. Okay.